As you know, prices are way up. So is this a good time to buy a house? Here's one way to think about it.
Hi, this is Greg Powers with Keller Williams Metropolitan, and this is Real Estate Smarts in roughly under 3 minutes.
After a showing this weekend with one of my buyers, she asked me, do you really think it's a good time to buy a house with prices so high? I think she said something like, with my luck, I'll buy a house and then the market will crash the next week. And I actually hear that concern a lot these days, not surprisingly. I can't answer that for you because the true answer depends on both macro and microeconomic forces and your own personal circumstances. Now, I think most people who raise that concern are thinking about the Great Recession of 2007 to 2009. And yes, that was a bad one, but it was also almost unique in our history. Actually, during most recessions in this country, housing prices haven't been affected that much. And I'll include a link to an article in the comments below that discusses that in a little more depth. But let's say you do buy a house tomorrow, and a week later, the country goes into another economic downturn. Should you panic in the streets? Nah, and here's why. So let's say you buy a house for $350,000. And then the market starts sinking. 10%, let's say. Well, now your house is worth $315,000. Dear God, you've lost $35,000. Not really. Because strictly speaking, you don't lose anything unless you have to sell. And of course that may happen. But housing prices historically have gone up by an average of 4% per year. So if you were to stay in that house for, let's say, 10 years, you would easily recover that value. The worst recession in recent memory, 07 and 09, prices came up about where they were within 10 years. And in a weaker recession, you may recover even more quickly. Now, let's say you played a little cautious, you want to wait for prices to come down, so you decide to rent instead for now. And let's say you get an apartment for $1,500 a month. Now, in 2 years, 24 months, you would have spent $36,000 on that apartment. So in this case, you've lost $35,000 in value. In this case, you've lost $36,000 of value in 2 years. And again, because historically speaking, housing prices tend to go up about 4% every year, in this case, your loss is temporary. In this case, it's permanent. You're never getting that money back, and you have nothing to show for it, really. So again, is it a good time to buy a house? Only you can answer that question for yourself. But this is one way you can think about the two alternatives. So thanks for watching again. If you have any comments, leave them below. Feel free to like my blog on my website, gregpowershomes.com, and share this with anyone that you think might benefit. Take care.